Hey everyone, and welcome back to BlenderDiplom.com. I'm Gottfried Hofmann, and for this Blender 2.8 preview video I'm using a notebook because now the navigation widget, which you can see up here, is enabled by default. And it's really cool for notebook users. For example, if I click here with the left mouse button and drag, I can move through the scene. Then if I click here, I can pan. And if I click in here, I can rotate my view. So this can do everything the middle mouse button can do, but without a need for a middle mouse button. So you don't need to emulate it anymore when you're working on a notebook. And many notebooks also don't have a numpad. And this widget really helps you with this as well. For example, if I click here, I can look through the camera. If I click here, I can switch between orthographic and perspective mode. And if I click one of those arrows here, I can switch the view. Like for example, this here is front view, then this here is side view. The blue one, of course, is top view. And when I'm in a view and I click here in the middle, I go to the other side. So now click, and now I'm in button view, and now I click again. And I'm in top view. I had to click 2 times because if I click only once after I am here in this view, it will also switch between orthographic and perspective for some reason. But anyways, you see, this is super useful for notebook users. And if you don't like this widget, you can disable it in the user preferences. And by the way, on the icon front, something has changed as well. And that is here, if you look to the tool shelf, you now see that it's 50% transparent. And if I click here, you see now I have placed the 3D cursor, which is pretty cool. And that means region overlap is now enabled by default. There was a performance problem before, but it has been solved. And you can also make this completely transparent in the user preferences if you want. And by the way, if you like to use all those cool new things here, like the way you can work here by just clicking and then clicking again to run the tool again without having to press a key, but you don't like the fact that you always have to go over here with your mouse to enable those tools. Now you can also hit spacebar, and here now I can select the tool again and then keep working, which by the way is pretty nice. And if I hit spacebar twice, I can go back to the old search menu. I will do a workflow video another time, but for now I'd really wanted to show you this cool new thing. Even though it might not be so cool, do you really like it, or would you prefer to have spacebar just a search menu without having to hit spacebar twice? And what do you think of the new navigation widget up here? Are you planning to use it, or are you going to disable it? And what I'd also like to know is anybody of you using Blender on a notebook? Because I have to admit, most of the time I'm using it on the workstation, but for example, if I'm traveling, it's really nice to use it on the notebook, and I think that this widget will help me a lot, or at least will make my life a lot easier when on the road. So, thanks for watching, and as always, do try this at home. Link for downloading Blender 2.8 is in the description.